Welcome to VelocityForm Pod. My name's Dave from EBOS. Each week we're going to take a quick deep dive into the sports analytics and our models, looking at rugby league and also horse racing. So for this week's game, I've picked the Sea Eagles playing the Roosters. The Sea Eagles copped a fair belting from the Storm last week, and the Roosters just got over the Titans. When you have a look at the team list here, so for those on YouTube can see the screen, I will try and explain some of the stats and data as we go along for those on audio only. So the team lists have a weaker Roosters side, I would argue, this week. Manly maybe slightly stronger, although I'm still not completely sold on Croker at 9. But nevertheless, maybe Manly close to full strength. Now, the Roosters only just won last week. I've actually been against the Roosters the last 2 weeks, and certainly the model has as well. They are just waiting to, until the wheels fall off. And I think this might be the week to do it. When we do have a look at the Titans, or Manly playing the Titans this season. So in round 6, the Sea Eagles beat the Titans 36-0. And down towards the end of the season, which was round 15, Manly won 56-24. So if we want to run a form line through that, I think that's fairly reasonable. A couple of stats I want to highlight before I get to pricing and the models. And again, this is against the Roosters, so this is just for conversion percentage. We've got Manly at 81%, the Roosters right down the bottom of the ladder at 64%. So I think, I don't think this is going to be a close game, but certainly if it was, or if it is going to be close as far as the line goes, a couple of missed goals might make the difference for the linebackers. The other thing I want to highlight is the missed tackles. So Roosters are actually 4th for average missed tackles at 33 a game. I would also argue that this is a weaker Roosters team, so that may be even higher than that. When we look at Manly, they're down at 26. I don't expect Manly to get jumped and basically bossed around like they did last week by the Storm. This patchwork Roosters team is no Melbourne Storm team. So when we have a look at the prices of what's being offered out there in the marketplace, we got Betfair has Manly at $1.25, the line minus 12.5 at $1.98. The Tab have $1.26 head to head and minus 11.5 at $1.85. The Sportsbet has the prices if our page is going to load. Manly $1.28, line is minus 12.5 at $1.90, and Top Sport has $1.25 with a flat 12 at $1.90. So when we have a look at the sports modelling, so in our model we put a whole heap of stats in-game statistics, as well as the last 5 years in the database of various matchups and results, etc. We have various weighting on statistics of what is going to correlate with a win, and then we get prices and predictions. So when we have a look at this Sea Eagles v Roosters match, on our game screen, I've got Manly as a tier 1 team. So tier 1 is top 4, tier 4 is bottom 4, and that is built into the pricing and the prediction models. I've got Roosters as tier 2. Again, I could maybe argue that this side that they've named is going to be a tier 3 team if they played a whole season, or if we let the AI play out a season with this Roosters team named. And the Sea Eagles we've got at $1.18 head to head, Roosters $6. The line prediction of minus 23 of the margin. So that's the margin prediction that the model thinks Manly are going to win by, and the Roosters obviously the plus 23. Now a couple of little stats I want to point out. So for the last 12 months versus the opponent's tier, Manly have won 67% of the games. Now, the Roosters, in contrast, for the last 12 months have only won 12% of games versus tier 1 teams. Now, I'd certainly argue that this Sea Eagles team is a tier 1 team. And this is probably one of the weaker Roosters teams that have been named in the last 12 months. So, I think that 12% is going to be fairly accurate. When we look at the line betting and the line percentages and results, Manly against the opponent's tier for the last 12 months have covered the line 67% of the time, or won that line. Roosters at 50%. And over the last 3 years versus the opponent's tier, they've still won 62% of those bets, the line results. As far as the over-unders goes, the last 3 years, Manly have played in games where the overs has got there 56% of the time, the unders 44%. The Roosters, in contrast, 39% the match overs in their games, and 61% unders. So that's a quick deep dive into our data analytics. As far as VelocityForm goes, if you've got any questions, reach out to us. You can find us on the website. I'll link to our landing page if you want to have a look at our Rugby League product, or sign up for our horse racing beta testing. Good luck on the punt this weekend.